Have you ever wondered how welding works? Welds hold lots of important things around you together on a daily basis, and not many people pay any attention. So today I'm going to give you kind of a rundown of how welding works. I myself have been welding at work for about 2 years now. I'm still learning. I find it really interesting. So today I'm going to teach you about the safety of welding. I'm going to teach you the parts of welding. I'm going to teach you the kind of the science behind it, and I'm going to give you a small demonstration of welding itself. So first, let's get into arguably the most important part, which is safety. We have our welding helmet here, which has your welding lens. The art that you create from welding itself, according to Mark at Crafting with Concrete, can get as bright as the sun and reach temperatures of up to 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't want that going with your eyes, your face, very intense sunburn. So along that, we also want to protect our hands, so we have our welding gloves. As you'll see, the process of welding creates sparks. You don't want that hitting your hands. You don't want it hitting you, so we have fire-resistant clothes that you need to be wearing. Shirt, pants, good shoes, boots most of the time. Then we also have to think about the air around us. The process of welding creates a smoke. And OSHA says that that smoke, if inhaled, is very toxic and can create numerous adverse health effects, including cancer. So we don't want to be breathing any of that in. You can use respirators. Some welding helmets actually supply their own air. Or like me, we're just going to be outside and let nature be our breeze maker to ventilate everything. So now that we have covered the safety behind it, let's get into some of the parts. We have our welder here that actually creates the amperage, has a variable knob on it. This one actually does wire welding and stick welding. Today we're just going to be doing stick welding. We have our ground clamp that's hooked to the welder. We have our stinger that holds the welding rod, and we have the welding rod. So finally, since we've covered all our parts of welding, let's get into the little how-to zone. So your welder creates the amperage, which makes a circuit between your ground clamp and your working surface, your material. You have your stinger is going to pass that amperage through to your welding rod. So your welding rod actually has a metal core in it that the amperage melts and replaces the metal that you're burning away. And then you have this flux on the outside of it that actually helps create a gas around the weld that protects it from contaminants getting in it as it's cooling down. So let's kind of do a little demonstration where we're going to show you want to have your welding rod actually barely touches and it creates an arc. You have to worry about the angle that you put on it. You have to worry about the speed in which you travel. You want to not go too fast. You want to slow and make sure everything gets in there correctly. And you want to have a pattern. I usually tend to stick with little circles and stuff sometimes. Are pretty helpful. So let's get our safety gear on. We're going to put our welding rod in our stinger. And now it's one piece, as you can tell. Welding can be very frustrating sometimes. It takes a lot of practice, but it's really rewarding being able to fabricate things. It's a really fun hobby to get into. So hopefully today you learned a little something about welding. You learned about the safety, the different parts, and the process behind it itself. So when you go out in the real world, maybe you'll see a handrail or some gates or something, and you'll notice the welds, and you'll have a little bit more knowledge than you used to.